It was quite the unusual situation. Police say they got a call out in Anderson County to reports of animal abuse. What the man arrested admitted to, coming up.
An Eastern Kentucky high school student is in jail today after police say he tried to attack his principal.
And the Pentagon has stopped efforts to take back signing bonuses paid to National Guard members.
This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Sam Dick and Amber Philpott reporting. An Anderson County man arrested earlier this week for assault and cruelty to animals admits he was drinking whiskey before being sent to jail.
Our Caitlin Sentner has more on exactly what led up to the arrest. It's our top story at 4:30.
Lawrenceburg Police Department doesn't dispatch out into the county, but earlier this week a 911 call led them outside city lines where a man allegedly beat a dog's head against a TV stand. Police say the initial call came in as possible animal abuse by someone who overheard yelling inside the home on Melody Lane in Anderson County. When an officer pulled up, he could hear yelling inside, according to an arrest citation. It goes on to say he found out there was more happening than alleged animal abuse. 49-year-old Joseph Snellen told police he drank a pint of whiskey before arguing with his daughter and her girlfriend. The arrest citation says he grabbed the two women by the throat and his daughter punched him to get away from his grip. It goes on to say Snellen had been attacking a dog by slamming its head against a TV stand. The 49-year-old, whose breathalyzer test showed as .11, was arrested on assault and cruelty to animal charges.
When he was confronted about the animal abuse, from what I gather, is when he turned his anger towards the daughter and her girlfriend, assaulted them both by placing his hands around their neck, left marks on one of the victims.
We knocked on Snellen's door and didn't get an answer. We were able to talk to some neighbors who didn't want to go on camera, and they say they don't typically hear any commotion coming from that home. In Lawrenceburg, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Snellen is out of jail. Caitlin was able to talk to the victims on the phone. They describe what happened on WKYT News at 5:30. Knott County Sheriff's deputies have arrested a 19-year-old after they say the high school student tried to attack his principal.
And that principal talked to our Michelle Chamberlain.
Anytime you encounter a situation like this, it can go bad quick.
Cordia High School Principal Jonathan Mullins said Brendan Neese got high on prescription pills while at school.
This student could not talk clearly. Pupils were very dilated. Barely could really hold his head up, so we knew something was wrong.
Mullins separated Neese from the other students until help arrived. Once the Knott County Sheriff's deputies got there, they subdued Neese after they say he tried to attack his own principal.
I got to thinking he could have been my son, so I wanted to protect him too. That was my #1 goal, after making sure everybody was safe, was also his safety.
Deputies say when they got there, Neese had pill residue up his nose and they found prescription pills in his possession. Neese is in jail today on 7 charges. Principal Mullins says this is a good reminder to talk with your kids on the dangers of drugs and try to form a bond with them.
If you don't, these drugs or somebody else will.
Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
School officials say a juvenile female student ended up at UK Hospital after taking drugs. Officers suspect Neese gave her the pills. She's expected to be okay. The Franklin County Sheriff's Department says this person, who covered their face with white paint, robbed a gas station over the weekend. It happened about 8 o'clock in the evening at the Evergreen Market on Evergreen Road in Franklin County. The clerk told police the robber pointed a handgun at him and demanded money from the register. The clerk told police the person drove off in what looked like a Ford Mustang. We'll have more on this robbery ahead on WKYT News at 5:30.
A Lexington business has some repairs to make after an early morning break-in. Police say someone broke through a door at Jalapenos on New Circle Road. They say rolls of change were stolen and maybe some liquor. Well, it might have been a bit windy outside, but other than that, it was pretty much perfect. We 3 had to spend some time out there this afternoon, and as Chris said earlier, no complaints.
Warm out there, and here we are, Chris, in the late October month. Fall right here in the middle of everything. Felt like summer almost.
It's allegedly fall. That's what the calendar says. Mother Nature, though, kind of has her own little timetable to work with. And right now, summer continues to put in some overtime. It's been a crazy warm end to summer and now into the first half of fall. Late evening, late afternoon, early evening temperatures are still warm, courtesy of us being on the warm or the good side of this cold front that is off across the Mississippi Valley. Low pressure heading towards Chicago. By the way, look closely at that radar picture into Michigan. That, my friends, is snow showing up into much of Michigan while it is pushing 80 degrees into Kentucky. You gotta love that kind of weather, and that's showing me that the atmosphere over the next few weeks is going to continue to become supercharged as we go into the month of November. Around here, that warm air will give way to very windy weather and then eventually some cooler stuff. Broken line of some showers and thunderstorms approaching Indy near the St. Louis area. Clouds are increasing now across parts of the Bluegrass region. Hour by hour future radar will show some high clouds this evening. We're dry this evening. You get to 11 o'clock, there could be a sprinkle into the Ohio River counties. Then late tonight, early tomorrow morning, anyone's going to be fair game for a shower or two just ahead of our front. And that front guy is going to usher in a brief cool down. Can't even call it a chill down considering it's going to be normal. But wait until you see the weekend and into the first few days of November. Just a hint, it's still going to look and feel a little like summer out there.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thousands of soldiers ordered to return bonuses are getting a reprieve from the Pentagon after outrage from Congress.
Brooke Silva Braga has the latest from New York.
Defense Secretary Ash Carter announced a pause in the Pentagon's effort to collect bonuses that were improperly given to some California National Guard members, writing, "While some soldiers knew or should have known they were ineligible for benefits they were claiming, many others did not. We will provide a process that puts as little burden as possible on any soldier who received an improper payment through no fault of his or her own." During the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, soldiers were offered generous incentives to re-enlist, including bonuses and student loan forgiveness. The Pentagon says it asked at most 6,500 California Guard soldiers for repayments. The Guard says about $22 million has been collected so far from 2,000 soldiers.
It's absolutely dumbfounding.
Robert Richmond served in Afghanistan and Iraq. When he didn't pay back a $15,000 bonus, he says the Guard reported the debt to credit agencies.
It felt like betrayal. It was depressing, and I want nothing more than to not resolve it for myself, but resolve it for every soldier that's got that recoupment letter.
House Speaker Paul Ryan called it an injustice. The House Oversight Committee announced an investigation, and Congress is promising to pass legislation to help. The Pentagon's decisions on each case are due in July. Brooke Silva Braga for CBS News, New York.
This voting selfie by Justin Timberlake is causing a bit of a stir. The reason why ahead on WKYT News at 4:30.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
You know, gusty winds over the past couple of days really doing a number on the leaves, and a lot of those leaves, obviously we're going to spend some time raking them over the next week and change. And you're looking at that sky cam coming out of southeastern Kentucky. That's the Jackson cam. Little haze in the air and maybe, just maybe, some smoke. We're in the fall forest fire season, so we're hopeful to get a little rain tomorrow. But this is not a good setup as we go into this forest fire season now, because leaves are coming down. You've got dry weather. You've got very windy weather, warm conditions. We had a lot of rain this summer, so everything was very green, and we had some lush vegetation that all of a sudden now has dried out. Current temperatures, mid and upper 70s, most of central and eastern Kentucky. This is kind of Labor Day type stuff. And if you're out and about this evening, we're going to drop it into the 60s, and we're going to stay there. Post-sunset, winds will actually increase the deeper we get in the evening. Clouds are increasing as well on your Defender radar network. Rains is close by as parts of the St. Louis area up towards Chicago. That's a strong cold front that, at least in terms of knocking temperatures back to normal. If today were a normal weather temperature day, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But obviously, since temperatures are so warm, when you drop it 10, 15 degrees, like what we're going to do by tomorrow afternoon, you're going to notice it. It's going to be a little more noticeable for a lot of us who have to be out, and especially for the folks that are working. Check this out. It is snowing. See the white here? It is snowing into parts of Michigan while it's pushing 80 into Kentucky. Here's the breakdown as we go through the next few days. Tomorrow, windy, shower or two around, maybe a touch of frost Friday morning in the valleys of eastern Kentucky. We turn milder and windy late. Saturday, it's another very windy and a super warm day. Saturday looks and feels a lot like what you have right now. So if you can handle that one, you're going to be in pretty good shape. What about your Halloween forecast as of now? Well, look at our mummy. He's cutting a rug. He's breaking it down. Why not? He's looking at this forecast, and he is one happy mummy with 70s for the afternoon, 60s for the trick-or-treaters out there for the most part. So no wonder that is one excited mummy. Let's go through the forecast period. Cold front zips its way into town as we go through tomorrow. But as we talked yesterday, a lot of the colder air with that will stay to our north into the Great Lakes and parts of New England. We'll get on a shot of that, but by Friday afternoon, warmer air is coming back into town. You do have another front that tries to make a run at us on Sunday. Out ahead of that, winds are going to scream. That front gets into parts of Kentucky. And I'll tell you, wherever this front sets up, you can have one heck of a temperature gradient, as much as 20 to 30 degrees on either side of that front. Odds right now favor that front getting to about the Ohio River and putting the brakes on. So we may still see those very mild, if not warm temperatures Sunday, and then look at your Halloween. Mid to upper 70s. That'll carry us into November 1 and November 2. Mid to upper 70s into the early part of November. We've hit 80 as late as the 17th day of November in Lexington.
Wow.
That's the latest.
Rumor has it
Yeah.
that mummy is Jim Caldwell.
I'm going to refrain comment on that one just on the off chance that Jim is watching right now.
But he's a really swell dancer if it is.
Yeah, that's why I think it's probably not Jim.
Thanks.
All right.
We are out and about today at Waveland State Historic Site trying to escape Waveland. We'll give you some clues as to how you can get in on the games when we return here on WKYT.
Well, believe it or not, it is almost Halloween, and you can celebrate by trying to break out of a beautiful historical mansion.
Our Deanne Stevens is in the mood. She is out and about with details on Escape Waveland. Hey, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are here at Waveland, and we are trying to escape Waveland. And Trixie and I are trying to put together the clues. We're not having much luck, are we?
I'm not really sure how to play chess, so I don't think we're going to escape.
This clown doesn't want to escape because she wants to stay in the haunted house of Waveland. I'm trying to run. Yeah, Stitches says run, Deanne, as fast as you can. Coming over here to Spike, who's going to explain to us how this whole Escape Waveland thing works. You guys have been doing this for a few weeks, headed into Halloween weekend. This is the perfect weekend to come escape Waveland, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we've got 2 games, the doctor room, which we're in right now, and we also have the serial killer down in our slave quarters just a little way from here. So we lock you in a room and throw away the key. You've got 30 minutes to escape. There's clues hidden throughout the room, which I can see a lot of them hanging out right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you don't make it out within the next 30 minutes, then you've got a surprise coming for you.
Can I ask you what that surprise is? Or I guess it wouldn't be a surprise if you told us.
It's a little bit of a secret.
It's a big secret from what I understand. Michelle is with us. And Michelle, this is a fun experience from what I understand. It is on the spooky side, and what would Halloween week be without some spookiness? But a fun experience for the group who gets to participate, right?
Oh, definitely. You can go to escapewaveland.com, sign up, find our open spots, and sign up and get down here and have a lot of fun with us.
This is also an opportunity for folks to see Waveland. I mean, this is
absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a wonderful setting for something kind of creepy and historical.
And we have Stitches here who's creeping his way around. All these characters seem to be maybe a part of it without giving too much away.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, can neither confirm nor deny that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what it's all about, is we're all guessing what's going to happen here. You too can escape Waveland. They are running through Halloween night. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys.
All right, kind of spooky over there. Social media helping people express their excitement about voting in this year's election. Well, singer Justin Timberlake cast an early ballot in Tennessee on Monday.
Yeah, he took a selfie inside the voting booth, but that action is against the law in Tennessee and many other states. And Tracy shows us how the ballot box selfie could create problems in the upcoming election.
Justin Timberlake always seems ready for his close-up. But this side-eyed selfie could have gotten JT jail time. Taking photos in polling places in Tennessee is forbidden. Timberlake posted his pic on Instagram after voting in Memphis, saying, "Choose to have a voice. If you don't, then we can't hear you." The problem, though, isn't hearing, it's seeing. While 19 states allow you to share a ballot box selfie, at least 18 others have laws that ban it. In some states, the laws are unclear or allow for pictures of mail-in ballots.
A lot of these rules were written before there were cell phones.
All right.
Well, again, Kentucky has no law governing selfies at the polling place. Not sure where the rest of that story went, but there you go.
Yeah.
The Late Late Show host James Corden is at it again. His latest passenger for carpool karaoke, none other than Lady Gaga.
I happened to catch this last night. It's pretty good. The two sang, of course, and then Corden put on a fashion show. Take a look.
See, I thought you looked great in this outfit. I thought this was particularly strong.
Corden also modeled Gaga's meat dress. The duo talked about her latest album, Joanne. You can watch Carpool Karaoke on The Late Late Show right here on WKYT. Kind of hard to forget the way he looks right there. Okay, British actor Hugh Laurie has earned a spot on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He received the star yesterday for his work in television. Known for his performances in Fox's House and HBO's Veep, the actor has already a star in Great Britain before making it big here in the USA. He right now stars as a forensic neuropsychiatrist on Hulu TV series Chance.
And Tom Hanks walking the red carpet in Los Angeles for a special screening of his new movie Inferno, which is the latest in the Da Vinci Code franchise. Hanks reprises his role as Professor Robert Langdon as he works to stop a madman from unleashing a virus that could wipe out half the world's population. This is the third time Hanks and Oscar-winning director Ron Howard have teamed up to bring a Dan Brown bestseller to the big screen. Inferno opens Friday.
A Swiss driver caught on camera chasing his own car down the highway. See what led to the nearly catastrophic runaway when we come back.
Well, days like today are ones you just wish that you could just bottle up and save for however long.
Well, wait till what, January, February, when we'll go, man, I wish it was October again, Chris, because we know it's coming eventually.
Yeah,
but enjoy it for now.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? That may actually try to happen a little earlier this year. In 3 or 4 weeks from now, we may be saying, boy, I wish we had that October weather back here. It may start a little earlier than what we've had lately. Current temperatures range from the low 70s in Moorhead to the mid and upper 70s across the rest of the area. Clouds are beginning to increase now, Lexington to Frankfort, so the temperatures here are coming down just a little bit. And with a gusty southwesterly wind, those gusts have been around 20, 25 miles an hour. I think we hit 30 to 35 later tonight and end of the day tomorrow. Defender Radar Network showing the clouds quickly zipping in from the west. We've got thunder and lightning pressing across parts of Illinois into Indiana. That is with a cold front that arrives on Thursday. We've got a brand new hour-by-hour forecast to track that. And, of course, we're talking about the Halloween outlook when I come back in a few. Right now, let's talk about traffic and who better to do that than Officer Don. Don?
Hey, police are working a couple of crashes, Chris, including one outbound Georgetown and Kearney. There are several vehicles involved in that crash. No one's hurt, but that is causing some issues for outbound Georgetown Road. There's also still one at Alumni and Yellowstone. That's a non-injury. To Versailles, 12 minutes. To Paris, 20. And Winchester, 25 minutes from Lexington. Now back to the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. A World Series prediction, a unique lazy river, and a runaway ride. It is the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
Tonight it is Game 2 of the World Series. In last night's opener, the Cleveland Indians beat the Chicago Cubs 6-0. Of course, there's a lot of interest in this year's series. Cleveland has not won since 1948. Chicago has not been in the series since 1945. But what if we told you that one guy saw this coming 23 years ago? That picture you saw earlier, Mike Lee, quoted in his 1993 senior yearbook as saying that the Cubs would win the World Series in 2016. Lee said he didn't know what to put for his caption, so he remembered a dream that he had as a child. He said the dream was so real to him that he can remember it to this day. We'll find out.
I was up on the that red scoreboard they have. It was, with Harry Carey blasting away. Cubs win the World Series. It was pretty vivid. That's why I remembered it all the way through high school. And now I'm getting reminded again.
Cubs fans hope to fly the W tonight. Game 2 of the World Series is tonight at 7 o'clock.
What are these rights? How about that?
Yeah, see what else you can predict.
You have heard the saying, everything is bigger in Texas. Well, this next story is living proof of just that. Check out this massive Texas-shaped lazy river being installed at a Marriott in Houston. Crews are hurrying to put the final touches on the pool and the hotel. The goal is to have it open for this year's Super Bowl, which will be held in Houston.
Crazy video from Switzerland showing a man in a foot chase with his own car after it got a mind of its own. Take a look. According to police, the man had parked along the side of the highway to talk to a truck driver when his car just decided, I'm out. There it goes. The man eventually caught up to his runaway ride, but not before it banged up a guardrail and a traffic sign. Police are now looking for the man who's been identified to answer for the damage. That could have been so much worse.
He is lucky he wasn't killed because he almost gets hit once or twice
there. He is running right across. Yeah. Okay. And then the sign, I guess, stops it.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't do that, right?
Yes, that's right.
Stick with us. Here's what we're working on for you now at 5 o'clock.